Yo, yo, yo. It's D.Arthur in the building. I'm talking to you guys today about how females will pick up your pheromones on retention, and they will just magnetically be drawn to you while you're on retention. And how the cues and, let's say, the triggers that certain women will use towards you if they're trying to, let's say, if they're attracted to you. When you're on retention, you're definitely gonna notice that the woman attraction is definitely gonna be there, and there's going to be certain cues and certain things that, let's say, certain women do to you to try to get you to try to make them look, I guess, more attractive to you, so you can, quote unquote, so you can actually be attracted to them, so you can court her if that's what you want. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, subconsciously, when you retain, your pheromone levels will spike through the roof, especially if you hit the gym as well when you're retaining. And instantly, when, let's say, a woman enters the room, she's probably going to sense this off of you. If you retain for a while and you've been, let's say, hitting the gym as well and working and being a purposeful man, she's probably going to sense this off of you. And subconsciously, she's instantly going to do things in her feminine mind, and her hardwired feminine mind, to try to get, let's say, closer to you, to try to get you to maybe, like, submit to you, to do things so you can basically notice her and you can find her attractive. Now, don't be surprised when these things start to happen to you while you're on retention, because this usually happens to people when they retain. But for some reasons, for some other people, it may not happen to them as much. But before any of this happens, you really got to start looking at your life in general from a very broad perspective, from a very higher perspective. Like, I guess some guys were saying some things about how they've retained for a long time and they haven't gotten the choosing signals, the woman attraction that they really want. And if the reason why they might have not gotten the things that they want from, let's say, a specific woman that they want, is probably because, one, they might be too focused on them. They just might be a little bit too focused on them and not really fulfilling their purpose. And if you're really too focused on them at the beginning, it's not going to be that entertaining. Like, at some point, you kind of have to back off a little bit and let them do the pursuing. And that makes the relationships go a lot more smoothly when, let's say, the woman is trying to pursue you, when you become the prize. Because a lot of times it's flip-flopped. It's the man is the prize, the woman is the prize, and the man is trying to pursue her, trying to, let's say, take her out on dates and stuff, buying her stuff and things like that. And if you want real core attraction in any woman, doing all those things, those physical things with the flowers and all those things, that really won't, like, get her to, let's say, submit and try to keep you. That will just make you one of those beta male providers, basically. There has to be a certain point where you're too kind of focused on, let's say, your life, and you're too focused on just making gains in some way, financially, physically, mentally, spiritually, that you're not really focused on her that much. And you not really focusing on her that much, but still being very attractive as a man in general, will get her, let's say, her sensors to go off, and will make her, let's say, do everything in her power that she can do to get her to notice you, so you can notice her, so you guys can, let's say, become a thing. This usually happens to the men who are focused on their purpose, who are just very purposeful, who are retaining, who have a very charismatic personality, who put work in the, let's say, the gym, and are just very, very sure and confident in themselves. Now, she's gonna do some things subconsciously. There's gonna be some subconscious communication between you and her when, let's say, when you enter the room. If you've been retaining for a while, there's gonna be some subconscious things that you're communicating to, let's say, everybody in the room when you retain. It's just in terms of, it's really basically a term in terms of energy. It's basically energy speaking. If everything is energy, and if energy is neither created or destroyed, energy will be communicated. Your subconscious will be communicating to everybody's subconscious in the room. When you retain. When you retain, your subconscious will be communicating to everybody, not just women, but men also in general. Now, in order to maximize, let's say, your choosing signals and get her to feel very attraction for you, once you retain, you have to just be sure of yourself. You have to be confident, and it really goes down to how you carry yourself and, let's say, your attitude. Your attitude is probably the number one indicator when women are testing a guy to see if they're probably like the right fit. It's just like how you go about every single thing. She might give you a compliance test to see if you really are who you say you are, or who you really portray yourself as, or if you're just faking it. And the man who can pass this can really get anywhere that he really wants when it comes to female attraction. You might notice her if she's asked. You might notice a thing where she was asking you a question. Where an example is, someone was asking me a question during, like, earlier today, and it was, the thing is, you can notice that sometimes she might turn her tilt her head to the side a little bit, and then her pupils might become very dilated, which they just might be very big. And if she can't take her eyes off of you, then she probably feels attraction to you. And if it's a reciprocation of that attraction, then you would just have to do what you would need to do to try to court her. But the thing is, like, so if she turns her head to the side at you, and then she has like very big pupils, and her eyes doesn't seem like she can take her eyes off of you, then, like I said, she feels attraction for you. And now it's up to you to, let's say, reciprocate that energy if that's what you want to do. But yeah, make sure that you're just looking out for choosing signals, and your choosing signals will become, let's say, maximized when you retain. And also, you'll find that you'll have a lot more incentives in life. Maybe you've been retaining for a little bit. And now you just seem a lot more satisfied with life, and you just seem like you're very purposeful with your life, and you like where your life is headed. Make sure you don't put foot on the brakes, but you keep on pedaling the gas pedal, because that's usually what will happen. The thing is, when some guys get too comfortable, everything starts to plummet again. They're like, oh, I'm good, I have this, I have her, I have this, I'm comfortable. And the thing is, in terms of being, let's say, top 5%, let's say top head honcho, if that's what you want to call it, the men at the top, the people at the top, they're really never satisfied at all. Even, let's say, Kobe. There was this time where he was up 2-0 in the finals, and some reporter asked him if he was satisfied. Are you gonna smile during the post-game conference? And he still was like, what's there to be happy about? Like, we're still 2-0. I mean, we're only up 2-0. We haven't won the series. There's nothing to really be happy about. Now, another person who doesn't have that much experience will probably just be like, oh, we're up 2-0. We're going to win the game. We're going to win the series, and we're going to be done. And this is oftentimes the difference. Even if you're feeling good, and even if things are, let's say, going well, make sure you're never satisfied and you're always advancing for more, because the man who always is never satisfied and is always reaching for higher elevation, always reaching for more, will often get more, because he never stops and he never settles. So make sure you just keep going, keep retaining, and just make sure you're just always increasing. Everything will start always increasing in your life when you retain. Now, if you want to get more depth into how to get more of the choosing signals that you really want, click on the link below. I put down a 4-day video training series on how to effortlessly attract any woman that you really want in your life. And like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.